following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out.
Believe it.
Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black.
Follow the leader.
Oh my God.
Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this is gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff? The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss it. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn!
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you rate women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
This morning, I'm going to talk to you about a particularly virulent and dangerous form of divine madness, which is called falling in love. Which is, from a practical point of view, one of the most insane things you can do, or that can happen to you. Because in the eyes of a given woman or a given man, an opposite who, though to the eyes of everybody else a perfectly plain and ordinary person, can appear to be God or goddess incarnate, to be such an enchantment that one can say, in the words of an old song which probably dates me, every little breeze seems to whisper Louise. And this is an extraordinarily disruptive experience, a subversive experience in the conduct of human affairs, because you never know when it will strike or for what reason. It's something like contracting a very chronic disease once you get into it. And we try to resolve it sometimes by making it the basis for a marriage, which is an extraordinarily dangerous thing to do. And this is because in Western civilization, we have a tradition of the family which is very curious and which would seem to be the most ridiculous composition of disparate ideas imaginable. When we go back to the origins of Western civilization in the Hebrew and Christian traditions, we find that the idea of marriage and the experience of falling in love are really rather separate things. Because in those earlier times, in agrarian cultures, nobody ever chose their marriage partner. There are certain exceptions to this, that in ancient Greece, you occasionally find a woman who is called a Parthenos, which has been mistranslated virgin. The correct meaning of Parthenos is a woman who chooses her own husband. And there were very few of them. And in that passage in the book of the prophet Isaiah, where it says, "Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and his name shall be called Emmanuel," that is in Greek, Parthenos. A Parthenos shall conceive. And it therefore has nothing strictly to do with a virgin, although a woman who chooses her own husband might conceivably be a virgin. But by and large, a marriage was an alliance of families. And it was contracted not simply for the purpose of raising children, yes, but also to create a social unit smaller than a village. A village, therefore, being a cluster of families, and these families were rather large. So families allied. The oldsters, the grandpa and grandma, who had an enormous voice in who their children were going to marry, used to, as you know, I suppose this is no news to any of you, used to dicker and use go-betweens, and they considered not only whether this girl was suitable for their son and vice versa, but also what kind of a dowry she would bring, whether it would be advantageous to the two families to form such an alliance. And of course, these things, almost up to quite recent times, were always important in the marital affairs of royal families. But as is notorious, all royal families and kings and queens kept concubines and had outside arrangements when and if they should happen to fall in love. And even if...
Come on, love and marriage are two different things, according to the old ways. And you say, so what does this have to do with the topic? Again, if we are broken in some way, and you hear me talk about this a lot, right? Human beings are whips, works in progress, right? And then you've heard me say it in framed in a psychological framing of, say, attachment theory, right? Where people who have insecure attachment styles have been conditioned to manipulate to get what they didn't get from their partner, right? What they didn't get from their parent, they try to get it from their partner, right? And that's anxious, preoccupied, dismissive, avoidant, fearful, avoidant, which are all, the latter two are combinations, or the latter one is a combination of the previous two. So, again, if we're out here manipulating, right, to get what we want, I'm saying you can't use manifestation from a wounded place. Because trying to use manifestation, right? I'm manifesting a man, I'm manifesting a woman, and you have yet to heal. What you're actually manifesting is another lesson, another opportunity to see what you repress. See, many of us don't want to do the inner work, right? We don't want to do that. We want a partner to come in and supplement that work. And therein lies the problem. Like there's this cult of deservedness. And I keep saying you can't hustle God. This is our hustle series right now. And my brother's on the line. I'm going to get him back in here. Tex, we found your mother's record, brother, and we played it. And man, I miss your mother, dog. You have no idea. I miss us in Pasadena, homeboy. Like, you know, I miss old Pasadena, old Altadena. I miss it, bro. But talk to me, man, because I know you heavy. Something's on your heart, man.
Hey, I believe what I'm trying to achieve at this point in time in my life at 55 years old is my mother's roses. That's what's more important. Yeah. The most important to me is her roses. For her to be who she was, and people don't know, you know, I've said that back then.
Yeah.
And it's a fight. I've been fighting. There has been some pluses in that. Primary Wave has been very understanding about the situation. My next step, which I would believe would include you, Joe, and even B, because of the fact that y'all were all brothers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Is in the aspect of my next step is remastering, and I want y'all to be a part of it.
Of course. Put those records back out. They're your mother's records. Yeah.
Do they know about you? And your A&R and all that stuff back in the day? Did you?
My music stuff? Yeah. Everybody know I was a music guy. But
yeah.
But wait,
okay.
But Tex, I'm gonna tell you this, man, because it's important for you to hear this, bro. Yes, I want you to take care of Mom. and I got your back. Whatever you need from me, you already know I'm a phone call away. Contacts, whoever you need, whatever. But I'm gonna say this: don't run yourself in the ground. You got to take care of you too. 55 is still young, so it has to be high, bro, on your list of priorities to take care of yourself as well. Because a strong text can actually put this on his shoulders and see it to the finish line.
I'm actually working on the balance. I mean, I say that because, hey, it's been 3 years. I've had 5 brain surgeries.
Come on, man.
And I'm still me. And I'm blessed to still be me. I have not lost a step. I don't have hair receding issues. I'm not going to bring that up, but you know.
We love it. Texas still crazy.
But yeah, man, I am working on me. I'm working on. I listened to you about this relationship stuff.
Yeah.
Love my wife, who gets on my nerves all the time, but she saved my life, and I would never take that for advantage.
I love that. I
would never take that for. I will always put that together and make sure that she knows and understands how much I appreciate her for that. So yeah, I am taking care of myself, because guess what? Since COVID, the food grade out here on the road is horrible. And if you're sitting here eating fast food all the damn time or whatever, you just can't. If people don't pay attention to the people that work fast food, look in the back and see these people back here. This is what you're going to be if you keep eating this stuff.
Right.
That, you got to stop, man. I've learned a lot.
Man, I love you, Tex. I don't think you realize, bro. I love you, man. And like I said, whenever you need me, brother, you call me, man. And hey, I'm riding shotgun like back in the day. All right?
When I cut, he said back in the day, we go in the Monte Carlo or the Audi. Listen, I'm not going to interrupt your show. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you. I really do, man. And when I tune in, I pop in and send you a text every now and let you know I'm here.
Okay.
When I come into town, I'm gonna let you know I'm on my way.
Yes, sir.
And I'm gonna come up there and show my face.
Come on, brother. I appreciate it. My brother Tex from Dallas, Texas is in the house. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580. Let me tell you how important that conversation is, man. Brothers, being able to have a safe space to open up and share and grind something internally, right? To talk about something internally is a grind. And it's a rare thing, right? So the brother, he responded. He called in. I'm going to call in. I'm going to talk to my brother Zoe. Listen, I know how difficult that is, that conversation was that we just had. I know it's difficult for him to have that conversation. And I know that little space in his heart for his mother has always been there ever since she left us. So it ain't nothing but love for him. And that's what this platform is about. I want people to be able to understand this is a safe space for real. For anybody that's going through it, man, woman, child, anybody that's going through it. And especially brothers who are going through it, because guess what? We come from our generation right now, the Gen Xers, right? We come from a generation that said, hey, man, you bleeding? Wrap a sock around it and keep going. Like, we come from the generation that you don't have time, or you don't see it as worthy to stop and say, let me process my feelings. Let me process what's going on inside of me. We come from that generation where it was like, hey, man, you can't think about none of that. You got to keep going, which is why I urged him. Yes, doing it for your mother is noble. I got your back. Whatever you need, we going to get it done. But make sure you're taking care of yourself along the way. A lot of us brothers don't do that. And this is what I'm trying to say about tonight's topic. It's a heavy topic. It's in our relationship hustle series. Sometimes we so locked into the hustle, we forget the things that are necessary for us to do to take care of ourselves, to keep ourselves in tip-top shape and or condition. And I'm also saying this too in terms of healing wounds. Man, like trying to heal or trying to manifest, right, while you have unhealed wounds is like getting behind the wheel of a $8 million Bugatti intoxicated, right? The technology is manifestation. That's a spiritual technology. And yes, you can manifest things, but if you're manifesting from a broken, wounded, unhealed place, you might call in something that could do more harm than good, which is why I said at the beginning of the show, you can't hustle God, meaning the self-work is required before you can do the manifestation work. Do you understand? This is why people don't understand the talk that Abraham Hicks talks about, or Wayne Dyer, or Iyanla Vanzant, when they're talking about getting in alignment frequency and vibrationally with that which you desire. Because that work puts you in the knowledge that what you desire is already within you. Many of us can't see it in us, which energizes the chase for it, the pursuit. Do you see? That's why I'm trying to tell my brothers, this is the safe space. You can call here, you can get in here, and we can talk if you really want to put that work in. And I appreciate my brother for calling in. Listen, when we come forward, we're going back to Dallas, Texas. When we come forward, Texas is back on the board. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you, thank you.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I was listening to an older CD a couple of years ago, and there was a long discussion on the topic of that Abraham said this, and then someone asked to clarify it, and I still didn't hear the answer. And the question was, or the statement that Abraham made was that the path of least resistance isn't always the easiest. And I've listened to that 3 or 4 times, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around that.
Well, let's talk about it from the perspective that we've been talking about here, because we talked about the path of books that we've written, mm-hmm. and the discussion points that were at the basis of each of those books. And even recently, as we were talking about this vortex, saying get in the vortex, even wrote a book called Getting into the Vortex. It implies, and we mean it, that there's just one big, really good vortex that you want to get into. But every thought that you think sets things in motion. And so today, while we want you to know that there is this vortex that Source is focused upon that is so dominant, we also want you to acknowledge that there are other vortices that you've set into motion, sort of streams. Man's negative thought has created a lot of different scenarios that if you get, because of whatever vibrational disc you're choosing in this now powerful point of attraction, if you get on the Henri disc, you're going to be gathering from a vibrational reality that is not the vibrational reality that Source is tending to.
So if you're on the ornery disc, the path of least resistance of orneriness is not going to be easy.
Well, let us finish this thought out, and then maybe that's where you'll end up, but we have something more clarifying to explain to you. So in the same way that we were talking about the vortex, and then later explained that there are a lot of vortices because every thought has set something into motion that will manifest if you get your momentum going toward it. So there was a time when we were talking about the path of least resistance, like we were talking about the vortex, that there is a path toward what you want and who you are. Right. And But there are paths toward those other vortices too. In other words, sometimes you get on one of those paths towards something that you do not want, and the tug of war that is within you. In other words, what we are trying to define is it's the leverage. We almost got to that point in the last conversation. It's a sentence that we want to insert in the beginning of this conversation, that the path of least resistance is created by the momentum of law of attraction. And we want to say that there is such leverage.
And Abraham is cooking right there. Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks is cooking. She's basically saying you can't be negative. She called it the vortex of orneriness, right? Psychologists might call it rumination, negative self-talk, right? Again, she's saying these thought processes create patterns. The pattern itself can be seen as a type of psychological gravity, right? She's like, once you go down that rabbit hole, it's going to be hard to pull you out of that, especially if you're trying to get to what source wants you to have. Again, there has to be a cleanliness, a type of spiritual hygiene, right, with regards to your thought process. Many of us haven't unpacked years and years and years of suppressed stuff. This is where I push back and say, hey, go set up that meeting with a therapist. And I always say, preferably a sister. And I'm talking to black folk right now. Go set up that therapy session with a sister who is a clinical psychologist, and have her walk you through this internal inventory that needs to be unpacked, that needs to be reorganized, recontextualized, and in a psychological and spiritual sense, or a psychological sense, they would say individuation process, right? We're getting into this process of individuating, right? After we get clear on where you are. But the spiritual part of it, it's even bigger. It's even bigger. Now the things that you thought were out of reach, you start to come into vibration, alignment, vibrational alignment. What do I mean by that? Listen, if you don't like yourself, what kind of love are you going to call to yourself? If you don't love yourself. Now people always throw the word around, oh, I love myself. But when you really start peeling it back, right? You start peeling the layers back and you go, wait, hold on. You really don't. This is all a performance. This is why we make the distinction between performance and resonance. You cannot resonate with self if you hate self. When we come forward, the voice of reason is going to Houston, Texas. We're going to keep it cooking.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. 20 Democrat-led states are suing the Trump administration over a push to collect sensitive data on SNAP recipients.
They are basically trying to weaponize the SNAP program against immigrant communities in violation of the law.
Black New York Attorney General Letitia James says it's an effort to weaponize food stamps against immigrants. States have until July 30th to comply or risk losing federal funds. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter tour is now the highest grossing country tour ever, pulling in over $407 million from just 32 shows. She wraps the history-making run in Vegas, topping tours by Morgan Wallen and Zach Bryan. And Nevada Attorney General Aaron Ford is running for governor in 2026. The Democrat launched his campaign Monday in East Las Vegas. Ford, the first black person to hold statewide office in Nevada, is aiming to unseat Republican Governor Joe Lombardo. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Think It Up is an initiative to activate student-powered, teacher-led learning projects. Students and teachers, how can you spark great learning experiences in your classrooms today? Join at thinkitup.org.
Follow the leader.
KBLA Talk 1580.
Follow the leader.
If you're not following KBLA Talk 1580 on all of our socials, then you're missing out. Download our app and find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on the web at KBLA 1580.
That's right.
Again, you can find all of our socials at KBLA 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
By the way, if you miss any of our weekday shows in real time, you can always catch up by checking out the podcast of your favorite shows at your leisure. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black.
Got your black. Follow the leader when the leader. Oh my God. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader. Follow the leader.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
See website for details. Bills Happen is not a lender and does not make credit decisions. Hey, bills happen. So when you need extra cash fast, go to billshappen.com. Have you been turned down? Are your credit cards maxed out? Do you have bad credit? Go to billshappen.com. All you need is a job and a checking account. You can find a lender and get up to $5,000 cash as early as tomorrow at billshappen.com. Billshappen.com is the smart way to get a personal lender now. So if you need extra money for car repairs, medical bills, family emergencies, whatever you need cash for, go to billshappen.com and you can get the money you need as soon as the next day, up to $5,000. At billshappen.com, our process is safe, secure, and all online. No one to deal with in person, and Bills Happen does not charge you any fees to use our service. It's easy. When you need a lender, just remember, when bills happen, go to billshappen.com. billshappen.com for the cash you need now. billshappen.com.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. Beating in rhythm to the world you've created. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
We do that? Like, how do we almost manifest things not working out?
So I think like really simple examples are if you wake up on the wrong side of the bed, you wake up in a really bad mood and then you miss your train and you know, your meeting gets cancelled and you stub your toe or whatever it is. We've all had those experiences in those days where we're kind of just operating at this low vibe, we're in a bad mood, and then that's what's happening. But there's also, I think, a deeper level where we, you know, so much is self-fulfilling prophecies. So if we are constantly operating from this belief system that we aren't worthy, that we aren't enough, that we can't, you know, receive abundance, then we're going to change the way that we interpret and the meaning we attach to everything we experience. So we might have a conversation with someone which is in perspective, someone else's perspective is just a like really normal conversation, but to that person who's got that low self-worth and believes everybody's against them, they might take that conversation totally the wrong way and then sabotage the relationship and then go, see, I told you nobody's here for me, or I told you I couldn't, you know, whatever it is. And so I think in that sense, we are absolutely manifesting negativity into our lives because of how we're perceiving the world through that lens of low self-worth or low self-esteem.
Yeah, no, that's such a great answer.
Man, it's making my point. Manifestation is for the healed. You can't use manifestation to escape. Manifestation, i.e. the law of attraction. Right? I.e. law of attraction, right? God isn't an influencer. The spiritual psychosis of law of attraction culture, right? Manifestation culture didn't free you. It gaslit your grief. You were told the universe rewards frequency, but what if that's just metaphysical victim blaming? This subtopic dismantles the influencer industrial complex of spirituality and asks, right? What if divine love isn't scalable? What if your brokenness is holy, even when it's off-brand? Do you see what I'm trying to say? You're always trying to fix it. You're always grinding. And listen, the real fix is in acceptance. That's the real fix. Accepting oneself as they are. That's the fix. But it's so difficult. You've created all these other avenues. Let me get this. Let me get her. Let me get him. Let me pray for this. Let me have that. Instead of saying, let me love me. Let me accept me. And in all you're getting, what does it say? What does the word say? In all you're getting. Andy, do you know your Bible, brother? Andy said, a little bit. Gain understanding. Right? The most meaningful understanding you can get is an understanding of yourself. We have a better understanding of what our wounds need than the understanding of ourselves. Ooh, hold on. My worthiness wound needs acknowledgement. Right? My avoidant wound needs space. Or if I have both wounds, I need acknowledgement, I need intimacy, and I need space. Do you see? We know our wounds better than we know our true selves. The reality of who we are transcends what happened to us, what we didn't get in childhood. Yeah, it transcends all of that. Do you see? Let me get my niece on here. Niece, what up? Attila from Houston, Texas.
You got me. You got me yelling at the phone. I'm yelling at the phone like, yes. Sorry, I'm just excited because, I mean, it's just beautiful. It's beautifully done. First of all, shout out to Tex.
My brother Tex, yes.
I hope you're doing well, fam. Hope everything is okay. Blessings to you, brother. But nonetheless, I wanted to talk about accolades versus intimacy in regards to this topic. This is my issue with the so-and-so is the prize argument, right? Like, I think I had wrote it in one of the questions that I sent you. Like, when you're talking about the avoidant partner's ambitious workaholic tendencies, right? Like, to me, that's mirroring the anxious preoccupied. Like, the avoidant is pursuing their work, but the anxious person is pursuing them. They make them the prize, just like the avoidant makes their work the prize. And ultimately, what are they? They're both after the same thing. What do you think that is?
Are you asking me, or are you rhetorical? Okay. I think they're both after intimacy. Yeah. I think they're both
intimacy to do what though? But like, what would they gain from that ultimately?
Well, from an AP perspective, the AP always wanted to be wanted. And then from a DA perspective, they knew they were wanted, just in a more, I guess, inconsistent way, which meant, do you really want me? And if you wanting me is the way that it is, I guess, inconsistent, then maybe I could just do it myself. But underneath all of that,
to be worthy, they want to be worthy. I want to be found worthy. That's what they want, right? And you have to think about it. That really is just a definition of a separation from the divine. The divine has already told you you're worthy. If I'm separated from him, her, however you want to see it, the universe, right? Then it makes sense why I'm searching for my worth in other people, externalities, because I don't recognize that it's already here. I need you to validate me, to tell me that I am worthy, because I don't see it. Can you help me? Can you help me find it? Right? And so chasing after the very thing that eludes you is the thing that fuels your uncertainty, that need to know. But the real truth is you already know. You just don't want to acknowledge it because you can't face yourself. So I say all that to say, right?
Yeah, no, don't, wait, because that was such a good question, because it opens up more stuff, because even in the, I guess, dismissive avoidant, there is this deep sense of being flawed.
Yeah, heavy. So I would say for the dismissive, even more than anybody else. But go ahead.
Yes. So the whole worthiness piece is big. I never really correlated the worthiness piece to the dismissive. But yes, it applies. Because normally you apply that worthiness wound piece to the anxious preoccupied. But it's also shared by the dismissive avoidant. That was a great observation. Please continue.
Yes, and so I think that's why the healing that attachment trauma and the worthiness wounds is so important, because without healing that, you're only going to be able to understand and communicate in the words of toxic ambition. Everything that you do is going to be fueled by that, regardless of your attachment style. Either you are toxically ambitious in the form of the matrix thinking, getting the materials, or you're toxically ambitious in the form of getting love, getting acceptance, getting that validation. It's the same thing, though. You're just pursuing. It seems on the surface that it is different. And I think the reason why the dismissives get such a bad rap is because of their response to people in their pursuit of that validation. It's very off-putting. It's really easy to defend the person that's like, well, I just want to be loved, child. I just want to be loved. It's real easy to be like, oh, you poor thing. See, they just want to be loved. This is so horrible. It's real easy to. I'm not making a case, by the way.
No, I hear you. No. Keep going. You're cooking.
I was just saying, it's real easy to wrap your arms around someone who wants to be held versus the person who never has been and feels they don't need to be.
Oh, that's my
so yeah,
niece.
That's it. That's all I got to say.
Hey,
good night, y'all.
That's my niece. Girl, guess what you just did?
I brought Houston in the building.
Houston, Texas is on the board. Texas has been on. Hey, Texas run this place right now, and it shouldn't. It shouldn't. We broadcasting live from Leimert Park. You already know it is legendary Africa town. It shouldn't. But Texas is in here big time. Listen, if you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me at 1-800-920-1580.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at lifelock.com. Terms apply.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 reminds you, when we fight, we win. The Youth Justice Coalition is challenging America's addiction to incarceration and discrimination. YJC works to dismantle policies leading to mass incarceration, law enforcement violence, and the school-to-prison pipeline. Their approach? Transformative justice, community intervention, free LA high school, legal defense, and system monitoring. YJC promotes safety without relying on prisons. Their goal? Prevent system contact and help people exit the system through direct action, advocacy, and education. Want to get involved or need help? Call 323-235-4243. That's 323-235-4243. Join YJC in creating change. When we fight, we win. KBLA Talk 1580, your voice for justice. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
One make you. Yeah.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Dog. So what that tells me again, part of your story is when we know that we need to make a change.
Yeah.
We make that change internally.
Yeah.
And we are on that path, but then sometimes like in The Godfather, I'm trying to get out, but they keep pulling me back in.
Yeah.
Right.
So
there's going to be some resistance.
I think the problem is with most of us. So when we want to make a change, we'll make the internal mental change, right? But we don't change the disciplines and habits that got us into predicament in the first place. If you're going to make any type of real change, you're going to have to change the discipline and habits that's going to change the mindset, that's going to make the actions follow up behind it.
Yeah.
That's something that I didn't know at the time, and it backfired on me.
So when you got back to Chicago, where did the second chance come?
Got back to Chicago, was around my mom, getting some things done, and then I knew I wasn't finished. So I figured out, how was I going to get back to where I was at?
Okay.
What happened was you can be out for a year until you apply for Job Corps. I waited that year.
Hey, listen to me now. Stop running to change. Change becomes escape. You can't transform anything about yourself until you accept yourself. Change is the problem. Change is probably the easiest thing you can do. You want to transform. You want to get into a human chrysalis, be broken down to the very last compound, reconstructed into an entirely different being, then emerge. Change is superficial. Transformation is transcendent. You're not manifesting, you're groveling because you don't like where you are. And even deeper, you don't like who you are. I'm not trying to be mean, but I'm saying there's real work to be done. We always want to change the situation, change the scenery, change the relationship, change the person. We refuse to transform. There can be no transformation until there's self-acceptance. I think the most insidious form of avoidance is self-avoidance. You see? So manifestation becomes fantasy, imagination. If it was like this, things would be different. Wait till I get my money right. Do you see what I'm saying? What if the entire architecture of your manifestation practice was simply an elaborate apology for being? What if your vision board isn't a map to your highest self, but a mausoleum for the parts of you capitalism convinced weren't marketable enough to be loved? We do not hustle for love. We hustle because we do not believe we are love. So let me show you. In a cultural economy that collapses being into branding, hustle into holiness, and romantic relationships into ROI, return on investments, we have not been healing. We've been producing our wounds, right? We've been producing them. Modern self-work has become the religion of the lonely. Scripted affirmations offered to a God called scarcity. Wearing the mask of spirituality, but carrying the vibrations of shame. This is not a glow up. This is a slow death in disguise. What we've called leveling up is often emotional bypass in drag. What we've named attraction is often trauma reenactment, right? From the disembodied tenets of the law of attraction to the spiritually bypassed affirmations of the high-value woman, hustle culture doesn't just colonize your calendar, it invades your nervous system. It inserts a commandment into your psyche. Thou shalt not be lovable unless you earn it. But the soul does not negotiate with shame. It retreats. And what remains in it, in its absence, is performance. Again, not presence, not resonance. I'm just here to tell y'all, man, we have too many superficial conversations about relationships, right? In one breath, we'll say, okay, relationships aren't that difficult. In another breath, we'll say, love is a verb. In another breath, we'll say, well, my parents were together for 30 years. In another breath, do you understand? None of that stuff really matters until you go inside, internally. And then you start to find out, this is what I'm made of. Wow. This is how I don't show up for myself. Wow. This is who I learned that from. Wow, wow, wow. And all of these revelations are not to be judged. They're not to be used to condemn yourself. No. They're there to be embraced by you. When you become love, you find it everywhere. It finds you. No matter where you show up, love is there. When you become it. When you become grace, self-grace, self-aware, self-approved, self-acknowledged, right? When you become these things, my goodness, you find it everywhere. It finds you. You can't go anywhere without running into more love, more grace, more acknowledgement, more approval. And it's not coming from a forced, did I do well? Did you see what I did? I'm going to start it. I'm going to end it the way I started it. You can't hustle God. Listen, I started the conversation. It's up to you to finish it. The VOR. Be back tomorrow with episode 3. Let's get it.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Bree Wood with